manners. This meeting is being televised by PAT. It is also on the Zoom platform. If you'll now please rise for a moment of silence on the Pledge of Allegiance. Now the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Move approval of the record, Mr. President, from September 24th.
Here are the motion by Councilor Gould. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton.
Yes.
Sasslaw.
Yes.
Mitsoulas.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Charist.
Yes.
Manning Martin. Turco.
Yes.
O'Neill.
Yes.
Melville. McGinn.
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Next item on the agenda is hearings. We have a recessed hearing, item 4A, special permit S&S Consultant, 530 Lowell Street, the development of a cemetery in a BR zone district, recessed from September 24th. I'll now turn this over to Councilor Sasslaw.
Thank you, Council President. So this before us tonight is a special permit for a cemetery for S&S Consultants. Before I start, motion to receive item 8A, 8F, and late communication 1.
You heard the motion by Councilor Sasslaw. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton.
Yes.
Sasslaw.
Yes.
Mitsoulas.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Charist. Manning Martin.
Yes.
Turco.
Yes.
O'Neill.
Yes.
Melville.
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes.
Rozignol. Motion carries 11-0.
Councilor Sasslaw.
Thank you. So, as you can see, Councilors, Light Communication 8A was the discussion that took place between the petitioner and Conservation Commission. We referenced it. We did not have it in writing, but those were the agreements that was made between the petitioner and Concom, what Concom requested, so that you have in writing. Item 8F is a map. The last time we had a meeting, there was a map that I was referring to. 8F is that map, but in addition, there was an update, even further updated, and that was late communication 1. And the difference, if you look at the date, on the top right-hand corner, it's very small, but it says October 5th. Where on 8F, it was September 10th. Late communication 1 is October 5th. So that was the difference. So the October 5th is the most up-to-date map available and what it will be going forward. And I want to just address two issues, actually mainly one issue that had come up, which was regarding the perpetual care of the cemetery. So I did want to, just for the record, I wanted people to understand that the investment being made by this organization, the purchase price is upwards of $900,000. So obviously, for that type of an investment, which I would consider a long-term investment, obviously, I'm confident that they will keep up the care of the property. But taking it one step further, if I could, through the council president, if I could ask Attorney Kelty, through you to your petitioner, I'd like to confirm that you folks will be establishing a trust according to Mass General Chapter Laws 114, which covers general laws in relation to cemeteries and burials, and then that is the Perpetual Care Fund.
Councilor Kelty.
Yes. Thank you. Am I live? You can hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I've conferred with my clients. We will be forming a nonprofit LLC. It'll be called the Boston Muslim Cemetery, LLC. I have been given a list of the trustees and members, not trustees, but the members of that LLC, and they will form an organization that will administer and manage the cemetery. And yes, we would be operating in complete and full compliance with all of the provisions of Chapter 114, which governs cemeteries and the like. And inasmuch as that creates the need for a perpetual care endowment, we will do that.
Thank you. And just in closing, I think a few of you received some emails today from different clergy across the Commonwealth. I actually also spoke to a local clergy, and they were all in support of this endeavor. And I don't think, I think this is a very proud moment for the city. This is a very proud moment, I can say, for the organization. They're looking to have their own burial grounds, and if you really think about that, and I think we take that probably for granted in many of our faiths, we have never had to worry about that, but the Muslim faith has chosen Peabody as their home to rest their deceased, and I think it speaks volumes, and I'm happy to see that, and I think everyone has been really very supportive in this whole process, and I appreciate that. And at this time, I'm going to turn it back to City Council President.
Thank you, Councilor Sasslaw. Is there anybody that would like to speak? Councilor Gould.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I echo the words of Councilor Sasslaw, very profound words, Councilor Sasslaw. We should be excited to have people of a different faith come into our town and be welcomed like they are. And I am in 100% support of this special permit. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Gould. Is there any attendees in the audience that would like to speak on this matter? Any attendees, please raise your hand via the Zoom. Seeing one, I will call on Munia Maza.
Sayyid Nuruzaman.
Yes.
Should we speak? Oh, thank you, councillors. It's a wonderful night for us. All of us who were waiting to hear the good news that the city will welcome us, and it's unbelievable excitement we have over here. We thank everybody for the decision you are making. I think we'll respect that, and we'll respect all the rules and regulations that city has for the cemetery. And I also take this moment to thanks all the clergy people who we didn't approach them before. We only approached a couple of days before, and all came in our help, So we thank them very much. Take this opportunity. I don't want to say much. I'm very excited, and we'll be seeing you more and more in future, I hope. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Is there any other attendees that would like to speak on this matter? Seeing none. Any councilors that would speak at this time? Councilor Turco.
Very briefly, Mr. President, I just wanted to say thank you to former cemetery superintendent Dave Cronin, who's retired, and sometimes we forget what knowledge we have in the city available to us, and shortly after the last meeting, he reached out to several of us and gave us a significant amount of information, including information about the Perpetual Care Trust, and I just wanted to say thank you to Dave.
Thank you, Councilor Turco. Councilor Welton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Also want to echo the sentiments of fellow councilors and say how much in support of this project I am, and how proud I am to be in a community that is so proactively welcoming to people of all faiths. With that, just one quick question or maybe request to Councilor Kelty, and just procedurally as this is submitted, just to ensure that it doesn't have to come back in front of us when it's transferred from S&S Consultants to Boston Muslim Cemetery LLC. I don't know if there's a need to add a doing business as, or in addition to, or some other clause. I lean on you for some suggestion there, but thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Welton. Counselor Shress.
Thank you, Council President. Again, I want to welcome this opportunity to have a whole new culture presently here in Peabody. Coming to Peabody, I'm very proud they picked our city. A few weeks ago, I spoke about this, and people had came up and said, well, you're very emotionally attached to this. And I'm not attached to this particular cemetery. What I am is attached to the beliefs and my past experience. Real short, I had a brother-in-law who was a Muslim. He's buried currently next to my sister in a Catholic cemetery. I witnessed how they tried to present as much as a Muslim burial at that time. My brother-in-law loved the United States, wasn't born here, but became a citizen. Each and every one of you, if you ever had a chance to meet him, he was true American, and he loved this country. He loved people. And that's what I'm finding more and more about this faith, especially when they want to present their people into our soil. So I'm just very, very thrilled that this council has opened up their arms to this community. I know they're going to be a big part of this community, and again, welcome.
Thank you, Counselor Shress. Any further councilors who would like to speak on this matter? Seeing none, Counselor Sassler.
Thank you. Through you to Attorney Kelty. Attorney Kelty, in the special permit referencing what you said earlier and following up on it, Councilor Welton, did you want me to put in a special permit to S&S Consultants doing business as Boston Muslim Cemetery LLC? Would you like that? Would that make things easier?
I think the more accurate would be perhaps and not doing business as, because actually if S&S is really only acting as the permitting mechanism, and we will form the Boston Muslim Cemetery LLC in order to acquire it and operate it. So if we issued the permit to S&S Consultants, perhaps and/or, then there'd be no need for us to come back, and/or the Boston Muslim Cemetery LLC.
Thank you. I will do that. And before I make a motion to close the public hearing, I also thank you, Council Turco, for recognizing former cemetery Dave Cronin, Superintendent. I appreciate that. Motion to close the public hearing.
Heard the motion by Counselor Sassler. On the motion, Counselor McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's not on the motion to close the public hearing, but I just wanted to be clear. Are we going to issue a permit to an entity that doesn't exist yet? Is that? I guess through you, Mr. President, to Attorney Kelty, does this LLC, is it in the process of being formed, or is it?
I have the names. I have the address. I have the name of the people that'll be the members of the corporation, and it's a matter of obtaining a permit in order to justify, if you will, creating this entity. So yes, it will occur, and I have all the piece parts for it.
It will occur, but the answer to the question is the entity doesn't exist yet, correct?
That's correct.
I just think that's an unusual set of circumstances to issue a permit to an entity that doesn't exist. I realize that it's absolutely the intent to do that. I'll defer to Councilor Sasslaw's judgment on this. If you're comfortable with it, I guess I'm okay with it. It's the process of coming back for a transfer, as you know, is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So, you know, there's really not much to it. And note the applicant doesn't even necessarily won't need to appear. It would seem like that's the safer thing to do. But again, I'll defer to your judgment. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Any further questions on the motion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasslaw,
Yes.
Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charis,
Yes.
Manning Martin, Turco,
Yes.
O'Neill,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Councilor Sasslaw.
Thank you. As a point of information, Attorney Kelty, I'm going to take Council McGinn's advice. I'm going to just put the permit in S&S Consultant's name and then ask you to come back for a transfer. I think it makes logical. It's not a entity, so to issue a permit with the entity, and that's more of a procedural in nature, and there should be no issue with that. So I think you understand that, and if your clients have any questions, I'm sure you can explain that to them. But that's just more of a procedural issue. So without any further ado, I'd like to make a motion to approve the application from S&S Consultants, 12 Wheeler Street, Peabody, Mass., for special permit
No.
seeking to develop a
Counselor.
cemetery in a BR zoning district at 530 Lowell Street, Assessors Map 35, Parcel 27A, Peabody, Mass., is filed in accordance with Sections 4.2.5, 6.1, and 15.7 of the Peabody zoning ordinance. And the only special condition was the trees that we talked about, the large green abrevieties will be planted, so that will prevent a natural barrier from Lowell Street. So move.
You heard the motion by Councilor Sasslaw. On the motion, Councilor Manning Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to Attorney Kelty, is there any unintended consequences coming your way with this motion at the last minute? Is it impeding? Is it an impediment that is insurmountable or larger than has been presented this evening?
Well, there were two things. One is in Councilor Saslaw's motion, you said 12 Wheeler Street, Peabody, Mass. It's Lexington. I think the ad originally was Lexington, and then one of the later dates in your paperwork, I think it appeared as Peabody, Mass. But that's the address of S&S Consultants. And as to your question, Councilor Manning Martin, are you asking if granting the permit and having to come back and provide you a letter saying we want to transfer, is that a problem? No, not whatsoever. What we'll do is we'll actually acquire the property, and then I'll send a letter to the council saying that Boston Muslim Cemetery LLC will be the transferee.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasslaw,
Yes.
Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charis,
Yes.
Manning Martin,
Yes.
Turco,
Yes.
O'Neill,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, councilors.
Next item on the agenda are reports of committee. First one would be Legal Affairs. Councilor Melville.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. In Legal Affairs, we had the entire committee available along of Councilor McGinn, Councilor O'Neill, Councilor Sasslaw, and Councilor Turco. We were also joined by Councilor Welton, Councilor Rozignol, Councilor Charis, and then Councilor Gould and Councilor Manning Martin. We had two items on the agenda. One was in reference, a motion made by Councilor Manning Martin to regarding legal advertisements in newspapers, and the request was to have the chairs of the various committees available. We had Dan Doucette, Fred Murtagh, Chair Gallucci from the Zoning Board of Appeals. It was Fred Murtagh from the Licensing Board. Michael Rizzo, who's the chair of the Conservation Commission, and along with Darrell McCarthy, who's the clerk for that commission. It was a very good discussion, very enlightening. We had two motions, one motion that came out of that particular discussion. It was a motion by Councilor O'Neill, and the motion is to request an opinion of the city solicitor on the ability of the boards, commissions, or the council to set the condition of re-advertisement on any application by the applicant for the future hearing that they're wishing to be continued to. That was a motion by Councilor O'Neill, and that was unanimously approved. So moved.
You heard the motion by Councilor Melville. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasslaw,
Yes.
Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charis,
Yes.
Manning Martin,
Yes.
Turco,
Yes.
O'Neill,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Councilor Melville.
Now, the second item on our agenda for legal affairs was an easement at 2 Crystal Drive. The attorney representing the owners of that property, Attorney Arvanites, discussed the easement and the reasons they're requesting it. Councilor O'Neill made a motion, and I'll read off the whole motion. The motion is to authorize the mayor to agree to a permanent, non-exclusive 41.25-foot easement over, across, and through that portion of the grantor's land shown as access easement containing 22,679 square feet, more or less, on a plan entitled Plan of Land Located in Peabody, Mass., prepared by Eastern Land Survey Association Incorporated, Christopher R. Mello, 104 Lowell Street, Peabody, Mass. 01960. Scale 1 inch to 20 feet, dated October 7th, 2019. The easement plan recorded herewith for the purpose of passing and repassing by foot and by vehicle to and from Lowell Street to a way 25 feet in width shown on said plan, and leading to the land of grantee shown as said plan as Lot 18C and commonly known and numbered as 2 Crystal Drive, Peabody, Mass. 01960. So moved.
You heard the motion by Councilor Melville. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasslaw,
Yes.
Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charis,
Yes.
Manning Martin,
Yes.
Turco,
Yes.
O'Neill,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Councilor Melville.
And again, I just want to thank all those boards, the chairs, and the folks that came to discuss that issue. They're very helpful, and they're doing great service for their city. And that was all we did in the subcommittee today. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Melville. Next report of committee is Finance. Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Finance Committee met earlier this evening. Present for the committee was Councilors Gould, O'Neill, Manning Martin, Turco, and myself as chair. Also present were Councilors Welton, Mitsoulas, Charis, Sasslaw, Melville, and Rozignol. There were 2 items on the agenda. The first was fiscal year 2021 financial update. The mayor, the director of finance, Mr. Gingras, and Ms. Mary Martin, the city auditor, provided some insight on the FY20 budget deficit that is approximately $3.6 million. And they provided what the major components of that deficit were. It was explained that a 1.4 million portion of the deficit was related to the water and sewer enterprise that was driving in large part due to the timing of collections as bills went out late and ratepayers were given some extra time to make payments because of the pandemic. It was also noted that the fiscal year 21 real estate tax collections are being watched closely as they are running behind the FY20 pace. It was also noted in the current fiscal year, the city is doing well in not exceeding last year's spending rate. In short, there will be a need to make a decision in the coming months on how to fund the deficit. Broadly, the choice would be to fund 50% in year 1 and the balance over time. or to defer the entire deficit fully over a 3 fiscal year period, as will be allowed by state law. The mayor indicated that he hopes to hold the tax increase slightly over last year's level, but it remains to be seen how several factors such as state aid will play out. The mayor, Mr. Gingras, answered several questions from the council. It was a good exchange of information. And the mayor and the finance team will be back in the November timeframe for a further update to the Finance Committee as we approach the tax classification hearing in December. And that's a report of progress on the first item on the agenda, Mr. President. Second item on the agenda was a request to transfer funds from various departments in the amount of $606,737. There was information about that presented by Mr. Gingras to the committee, who also entertained a number of questions from the committee. There was a motion made by Councilor Gould as follows: move to approve the transfer request from various department accounts on the attached list, attached to communication from His Honor the Mayor dated September 17th, 2020, at an amount of $606,737 to various department accounts on the attached list to that same communication from His Honor the Mayor in the same amount of $606,737,000. That motion was approved unanimously in committee, and I now bring that motion to the full council, Mr. President, for consideration. So moved.
You heard the motion by Councilor McGinn. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton.
Yes.
Sasslaw.
Yes.
Mitsoulas.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Charis.
Yes.
Manning Martin. Turco.
Yes.
O'Neill.
Yes.
Melville.
Yes.
McGinn. Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. President. We adjourned after that item. That is the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor McGinn. Next item on the agenda is motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Welton.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to receive item 8E.
You heard the motion by Councilor Welton. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton.
Yes.
Sasslaw.
Yes.
Mitsoulas.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Charis.
Yes.
Manning Martin.
Yes.
Turco.
Yes.
O'Neill.
Yes.
Melville.
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Councilor Welton.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to receive item 8G and refer for public hearing.
You heard the motion by Councilor Welton. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton.
Yes.
Sasslaw.
Yes.
Mitsoulas.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Charis.
Yes.
Manning Martin. Yes. Turco.
Yes.
O'Neill.
Yes.
Melville.
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Councilor Welton.
No further motions this evening. Thank you.
Councilor Welton, Councilor Sasslaw.
No motions, orders, or resolutions tonight, Council President.
Thank you, Councilor Sasslaw. Councilor Mitsoulas.
I have no motions, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Mitsoulas. Councilor Gould.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have one recognition of Councilor Welton's acknowledgement as one of the top 40 executive officers, under 40 in the state of Massachusetts. He does a great job as the Chief Development Officer for Northeast Arc, and he's fitting right in with the Peabodyite that he has become. Congratulations, Councilor Welton.
Thank you,
Excuse me, I have no further motions.
Thank you, Councilor Gould. Councilor Charest.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to make a motion to accept a late communication number 2. So move.
You heard the motion by Councilor Charest. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton. Sasslaw. Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charist,
Yes.
Manning Martin,
Yes.
Turco,
Yes.
O'Neill,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11 to 0.
Counselor Stress.
I'd like to make a motion to accept item 9B.
You heard the motion by Counselor Stress. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasslaw,
Yes.
Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charist,
Yes.
Manning Martin,
Yes.
Turco,
Yes.
O'Neill,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11 to 0.
Counselor Stress.
I'd like to request the DPW to sweep the roadway of Felton Terrace. So move.
You heard the motion by Counselor Stress. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasslaw,
Yes.
Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charist,
Yes.
Manning Martin,
Yes.
Turco,
Yes.
O'Neill,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11 to 0.
Counselor Stress.
I'd like to make a motion to ask either the DPW or the police who can give me a more accurate information on if there was a stop signs at the corner of Coonan and Violet that is, it's only one going in, looking to see if there were an ordinance on stop signs on both Coonan and Violet. So move.
The motion by Counselor Stress. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasslaw,
Yes.
Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charist,
Yes.
Manning Martin,
Yes.
Turco,
Yes.
O'Neill,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol. Motion carries 11 to 0.
Counselor Stress.
This point of information has been reaching out to DPW and people reaching out to me to just inform them that the crosswalks on Lowell Street will be done, I believe, starting next week, and that is from King Street down to King Street to Forest Street. So move. Not even so move, just an information that this is getting done, and a lot of people have been inquiring on that. Also, last, just an information again and suggestion, as the season's ending, if people take care of their vegetable gardens, there's times of this, right now, people say, okay, I'm all done picking the vegetables or the fruit, but if just leaving them on the vines will attract our friendly little rats that we have such a big problem with. So if you do look at the website for Department of Health, they will encourage you to remove all vegetables and fruits that's no longer going to be harvesting. So this, again, just information to keep the rat population down. And that will be all. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Stress. Counselor Manning Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For Human Services meeting scheduled for October 22nd, I'd like to make a motion to invite the Veterans Agent, Steve Patton, and No Child Goes Hungry and School Committee Member and Program Officer Jared Hockman to provide updates and overviews of the services and needs of those programs. So moved.
You heard the motion by Counselor Manning Martin. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasslaw,
Yes.
Mitsoulas, Mitsoulas,
You're muted.
Yes. Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charist,
Yes.
Manning Martin,
Yes.
Turco,
Yes.
O'Neill,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11 to 0.
Counselor Manning Martin.
No further motions, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Counselor Manning Martin. Counselor Turco.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just one motion. I'd like to make a motion to have the tree department remove a tree limb in front of 159, 157 Linfield Street in that general vicinity that overhangs Linfield Street and is rotted, and there's some concern by the residents that it may come down in traffic. So moved.
You heard the motion by Councilor Turco. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasslaw,
Yes.
Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charist,
Yes.
Manning Martin, Turco,
Yes.
O'Neill,
Yes.
Melville, McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Councilor Turco.
No further motions, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Turco. Councilor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Under suspension of rules, move to accept item 8J, excuse me, and request that we set up a legal affairs committee meeting, and also request Community Development Department to provide an opinion on this request. So moved.
You heard the motion by Councilor O'Neill. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasslaw,
Yes.
Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charist,
Yes.
Manning Martin. Yes. Turco,
Yes.
O'Neill,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Councilor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. President. No further motions.
Thank you, Councilor O'Neill. Councilor Melville.
Do you want me to take care of the appointments? Are those been done? Oh, you're going to do those? No motions this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Melville. Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. President. We did this in committee, but I'm going to, just for the sake of completeness, move to receive item 7A and refer to finance. So moved.
You heard the motion by Councilor McGinn. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasslaw,
Yes.
Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charist,
Yes.
Manning Martin, Turco.
Yes.
O'Neill,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. President. Also done in committee, but just for the sake of completeness, move to receive item 8C and 8H and refer to legal affairs for matter already addressed. So moved.
You heard the motion by Councilor McGinn. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasslaw,
Yes.
Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charist, Manning Martin, Turco,
Yes.
O'Neill,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol. Motion carries 11-0.
Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. President. Under suspension of the rules, move to receive item 8B and refer to legal affairs. So moved.
You heard the motion by Councilor McGinn. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasslaw,
Yes.
Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charist,
Yes.
Manning Martin, Turco,
Yes.
O'Neill,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. President. Under suspension of the rules, move to receive item 8D. So moved.
You heard the motion by Councilor McGinn. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasslaw,
Yes.
Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charist,
Yes.
Manning Martin. Yes. Turco,
Yes.
O'Neill,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. President. Under suspension of the rules, move to receive item 8I and approve. So moved. And on the motion, just a reminder that I believe we need to sign this tonight before people leave. So moved, Mr. President.
You heard the motion by Councilor McGinn. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasslaw,
Yes.
Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charist,
Yes.
Manning Martin. Yes. Turco, O'Neill,
Yes.
Melville, McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol. Motion carries 11-0.
Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. President. Under suspension of the rules, move to receive and approve all papers being in order, utility contractor's license, Borzek Septic and Drain Incorporated, 4 Hazel Drive, Hampstead, New Hampshire. So moved.
You heard the motion by Councilor McGinn. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasslaw,
Yes.
Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charist,
Yes.
Manning Martin, Turco.
Yes.
O'Neill.
Yes.
Melville. McGinn. Rossignol. Motion carries 11-0.
Counsel McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. President. Under suspension of the rules, move to receive late communication number 3. So moved.
You heard the motion by Counsel McGinn. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton.
Yes.
Sasslaw.
Yes.
Mitsoulas.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Charis.
Yes.
Manning Martin. Turco.
Yes.
O'Neill.
Yes.
Melville. McGinn.
Yes.
Rossignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Counsel McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. President. Late communication 3 is a request from His Honor the Mayor to fill a vacancy on the Conservation Commission. So move to approve the appointment of Amanda E. Green, 18 Roosevelt Ave, Peabody, Mass., for the position of Conservation Commission alternate for a term, one-year term to expire September 30th, 2021. So moved.
You heard the motion by Counsel McGinn. Seeing no discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton.
Yes.
Sasslaw. Mitsoulas.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Charis.
Yes.
Manning Martin. Turco.
Yes.
O'Neill.
Yes.
Melville.
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes.
Rossignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Counsel McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to receive item 7B and approve the appointments of Stuart Lazara, 2 Upham Street, Peabody, Mass., to the position of Conservation Commission member for term, 2-year term to expire September 30th, 2022, and Melissa Feld, 49 Warren Street, Peabody, Mass., to Conservation Commission member for a 2-year term to expire September 30th, 2022. And Arthur Athis, 26 Linfield Street, Peabody, Mass., to the Conservation Commission member for a 1-year term to expire December 31st, 2021. So moved. And
You heard the motion.
Mr. President, on the motion, 2 of these are renewals. Mr. Lazarus and Ms. Feld, they do a great job. Just wanted to point out that this is a new appointment, Mr. Athis, to the Conservation Commission. As we all know, he's a former Ward 2 councilor. I'm sure he's going to do a fantastic job in this role, and glad that the mayor has asked him to take on this responsibility. Thank you, Mr. President. So moved.
Thank you, Counsel McGinn. On the motion, Counsilor Welton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just also wanted to chime in, and I had the pleasure of serving on the Conservation Commission with Stuart and Melissa for a number of years. Very excited to see that the background of both Arthur Athis and Amanda Green are very, very impressive. I feel the city is in much better hands with me off the commission and these folks on it. So thank you very much, and congratulations, and keep up the good work.
Mr. Chairman?
Counsilor Gould.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are fortunate to have good people volunteering for many boards, and it's a pleasure to have former councilor colleague Arthur Athis back in his public service. Thank you, Arthur, for dedicating your time. Thank you, Mr. President.
Seeing no further discussion on the motion, roll call vote.
Councilors Welton.
Yes.
Sasslaw.
Yes.
Mitsoulas.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Charis.
Yes.
Manning Martin. Turco.
Yes.
O'Neill.
Yes.
Melville.
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes.
Rossignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Counsel McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. President. No further motions.
Any further motions by the councilors? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
You heard the motion by Counsel McGinn. Roll call vote.
Councilors Welton.
Yes.
Sasslaw.
Yes.
Mitsoulas.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Charis. Manning Martin. Turco.
Yes.
O'Neill. Belleville. McGinn.
Yes.
Rossignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0. Please come sign the warrant. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.